Hi, everyone. Welcome to our March TRIAD meeting. We have a very special guest, Cordelia Coppelson. She's with the Illinois Attorney General's office, and she has prepared a great presentation for us on different scams and some that are specific to COVID that have come up through the coronavirus stuff. So she has a lot of great information. I'm going to let her just start. I do have a few announcements that I will address at the end. So thank you so much for being here, Cordelia, and you can go ahead and begin.
Thank you, Sergeant Bender. Hello, everybody. My name is Cordelia Coppelson. I am an Assistant Attorney General. I'm in the Illinois Attorney General's office. I'm assigned to the Criminal Enforcement Division, and I'm also responsible for law enforcement training, including elderly service officer training. And so I've created this slide presentation for our police and for you so that we can talk about the scams that we're starting to see now with the impact of the COVID-19, which we are on our 1-year anniversary of, and so we can kind of take a look back and see where we were and see where we are. And I want you guys, there's a lot of good information in here. You can pause, write down those numbers, whatever there is. There's also going to be my contact information at the end where you guys are welcome to get in touch with me if you have specific questions, and I can get you in touch with the right people, or obviously Sergeant Bender, and it will be a great contact for you for Will County specific information. So let's get started. So what do we know? We know the coronavirus scams are spreading nearly as fast as the virus itself did. As of February 1st, 2021, the Federal Trade Commission had logged nearly 339,000 consumer complaints related to COVID-19 and our stimulus payments, which I know there's another round coming, and we're going to talk about that later too. 69% of these complaints involve fraud or identity theft. And victims have reported losing about $320 million with a median loss of $307. So we really want to be aware of that. Now, Better Business Bureau, the BBB, has a fantastic scam tracker. It's actually kind of fun to look at. And you can look at the different things, and you can also report any scams that you have seen or that have come through on your email or other ways as well. And this shows that there were 1,551 coronavirus scams reported throughout the country and Canada. Obviously, that's lower than the total number that I just reported to you, but it's interesting. It's another way to track these scams. So what's the first one we started to see? And one that is still out there is those online purchase scams. As soon as that stay in place went into effect, all of us had to figure out a different way to get our shopping done and a different way to get items home to us. So we were told, stay home, don't go to the grocery store. And it was pretty trying times for everybody. So we had to figure out, those of us who were a little resistant, which I definitely am one of those people, to get online and to work on those online platforms to get the groceries into the house. So what did we see next? We saw price gouging. And I love this meme because it says here, just showing one roll of toilet paper for sale, this exquisite roll of heirloom bathroom tissue, artisanally handcrafted from the pulp of environmentally sustainable mountain pine plantations in snowy white. And the offer is $250, right? So that's exactly what we were seeing. We were seeing high demand supplies, toilet paper, wipes, disinfectant, and masks, either being offered for deceptively low prices or incredibly high prices. So really what we're looking for is don't panic. And I know everyone feels a little bit more, we know there's toilet paper back on the shelves. We're starting to see wipes back on the shelves. It's been pretty easy to maintain get ourselves in masks and stay in masks and hand sanitizer. But we really do want to make sure that if we're getting marketing, anything in emails, anything online, anything through Facebook, if it looks too good to be true, it is too good to be true. We just want to make sure that if you're in a panic over any of these high demand supplies, that you contact Sergeant Bender, and she can get you in touch with somebody in Will County. People are sharing this information if you can't get it online. And there are obviously reputable ways to get your groceries through Jewel, Mariano's, wherever you want to get your groceries, and to order them online with a no contact pickup. Um, the next thing we have been seeing is the cure, right? We saw after the price gouging and the panic over supplies, we start seeing the snake oil and the snake oil salesmen who are out there looking to give you that treatment that's going to cure you of the COVID-19 virus, right? We know that they are really important for us to be aware of. You need to work through your doctors. You need to take advice of your doctors, the medical professionals. The best place to get that real-time coronavirus or COVID-19 information is the Illinois Department of Public Health. They have a great website. We're also starting to see insurance scams. Several scams are offering that low-cost health or life insurance, often in conjunction with those at-home COVID-19 test kits, or that those are other products that are being offered as a free gift. I'd like you to also really be thinking long and hard about that. These at-home test kits may not be all that they are purporting to be. And again, the best information that you can get is from your healthcare provider. We also want to be careful of any text or phone scams advertising products that are going to rid your home of the COVID-19 virus. Back in last summer, and I bet you we'll start to see it again when the weather hopefully improves, is mosquito abatement, other breathing treatments, HVAC cleaning that are told that they will help you cure or prevent the COVID-19 virus. And I want you to avoid those. Again, when we're talking about avoiding, most important thing you can do if you don't want to be bothered is to delete. Don't open, delete. If you don't know who it's from, you can delete it, right? And if you think it's from a sketchy or an email that you're unfamiliar with, you can feel free to delete it and not be bothered having to go through to figure out whether or not it is a scam or one of those phishing scams that we'll talk about as well. Again, these home test kits are sending these text messages or calling for offering these corona test kits. And sometimes they're trying to get you to say, oh, you're going to have to pay shipping. And if you pay shipping, we'll send you this test kit. That's just their way to try and get you the credit card, your credit card information or your banking information. That's when you're hanging up. You're never sharing that information with anyone. Sometimes they pose as officials from Medicare or Medicaid, and they want you to verify your Medicare ID or your social. And again, I can't stress it enough. If the Social Security Administration is calling you, they already have your Social Security number. You know that. So the idea of them asking for it is ridiculous. We're not giving out any of our personal information to any of these people. They also might ask for home addresses, stating they want to drop that test kit off to you. We just really want to be self-protective at this point and make sure that we're not giving out any of our personal information to anybody. Contract tracing is another one. If you have tested positive for the COVID-19 virus, my whole family got it at the beginning of February. And we had the real people calling our house, but we were very protective because they were calling on their cell phones to do the contract tracing, which is something important that they have to do. We just want to make sure that you understand a couple things if someone is going to be calling you on contract tracing. Real contract tracers do not ask for money. They do not ask for bank accounts. They do not ask for routing numbers. They do not require bank accounts, credit card numbers. They will never ask you for your social security number. Your immigration status is irrelevant, and you should never answer questions on those topics. And don't click on any links. If you're getting something that requires a link from contract tracers, the FTC has made it very clear that that's not how it's set up. So we're going to make sure that we get through it. Obviously, I'm just amazed by these scammers, because as something new develops, we then look at the next problem, right? So what was the next problem? Once the vaccination came out, the scammers started. And every time we see something new, we see these scammers get just as active on the new topics. My boss, the Attorney General Kwame Raoul, has released a back on January 5th of the new year, released a press release really urging all Illinois residents to be aware of these COVID-19 scams. We don't we don't buy any kind of COVID-19 vaccine or treatment on the internet or from an online pharmacy. You don't have to pay any money out of pocket in order to receive the vaccine. Everyone eventually will receive the vaccine, even if they don't have health insurance. Please ignore all online phone or text offers for the COVID-19 vaccine. Hang up on any of those robocalls which direct you to take immediate action. Rely on your healthcare provider and the Illinois Department of Health, and any information that you can get from Will County if you still haven't had a chance to get your vaccinations, to really work hard on getting them from a reputable source. We want to make sure, again, we're not sharing any of that personal information when it comes to getting that COVID-19 vaccine. You do not have to give them any information over the phone to get that appointment to verify your age so that you qualify for that priority vaccination. They are not required to get that information from you. So that wouldn't be a social security number or date of birth or anything like that. So please just be careful when you're when you're signing up, that you're signing up with a reputable source. If you have questions, again, feel free to contact me, or I will give you additional places to contact, and then reach out to your elder service providers in Will County as well. Make sure you could report these solicitations. It's not on you to report them. So if you don't want to do it and you just want to delete, feel free to just delete. But if we have solicitations from telemarketers, text messages, social media platforms, as well as any door-to-door visits, you can file a consumer complaint with the Illinois Attorney General's office. If you're getting people coming to your door, and I know that Sergeant Bender has probably told you this before, please call the police. The police want to know that they have people coming to their doors. If you can call the non-emergency number, if you don't feel that it's a non-emergency, feel free to call 911. You can let them know that these people are coming door to door. They are required to have checked in with the majority of our towns, have a requirement that they check in and they get credentials checked at the police department. If they are real and verified with the police department, will have no problem with you calling and having them verified, because the police department will be aware of them coming. Okay? You can always feel comfortable to contact your local police department. They want to hear from you. It is better that you tell them at the beginning than something where you're uncomfortable and you report it later. It's much easier if you do it right away. That's what they're there for. They're there to help and protect and serve you, and they're happy to do it. And I know that Sergeant Bender would agree with me when I say that. So again, if you don't want to deal with any of this stuff, delete emails, delete texts, any promise of access to COVID treatments, anything that might put any of that malware that we're always afraid of ending up on our machines. You can go and if you want to go on our website, Illinois Attorney General, and all you have to do is search it. It'll come up. On the lower left-hand corner, there is a box that says advocating for older citizens. If you click on that box, it will give you the information for resources for you guys to make those complaints. We have a senior citizen consumer fraud hotline. If there's any issues that you have in terms of that, it gives you other ideas of if there's abuse or neglect that you want to report. It's just a great source of information for you, and you can feel free to call the hotline and get more information. Additional materials are also available. They have all of the fraud hotlines for you for Chicago, for Springfield, for Carbondale, anywhere that you want to file a complaint. If you want to file one online, we also have an online submission form, so feel free to take advantage of that. This is something actually that I hadn't thought about, because I had friends who were starting to post. I had doctor friends and police officer friends who were posting because they had priority to get those vaccines, and they were posting their vaccine card very proudly. Please don't. If you guys are posters on social media, don't post your card, because you may have personal information, date of birth, or other things, and these people are out there watching. and they're looking for this information. So feel free to let people know you got a vaccine, but use your sticker that says you got your shot, or take a picture of yourself smiling and looking happy that you got your shot. Whatever you want. Don't share the card. We also want to be aware that those economic impact checks and cards are out there, right? We had a $900 billion economic relief package passed by Congress December 21st. And there will be stimulus checks that will be coming out. They're coming out now for 2021. Again, these stimulus checks give you more scam availability. We really want to be aware of the fact that if you were told that you were supposed to get a stimulus check and you did not, you need to make sure you report it. We don't want to give out any personal information. The government has your personal information. That's what they are. That's how they're sending these checks out to you. With this economic anxiety high, these crooks are also impersonating banks, lenders, offering to help with bills, credit card debt. Small businesses are being targeted by scammers reaching out with this promise of phony money. So really just be very aware of these when these checks are coming out. If you did get an economic impact Visa debit card in the mail, you can activate it. So I left that information for you to show you how you can do that. I'm not going to go through it with you. You can pause it and go through and keep all of these phone numbers, or take a screenshot of it, or take a picture of it with your phone, whatever you'd like to do. Just keep that information in mind if that's how you activate those debit cards. Just be aware the FCC is aware of several scams related to these stimulus payments and loans. So these scams can ask consumers to provide bank account information again, so funds can be released or loan applications can be approved. I know these are very stressful times, and I know that there might be issues with a loss of income, and we just have to be aware that we don't compound the loss by falling into one of these schemes. We also have to remember that we're human and that we can click on the wrong things. I make bets, and I'm going to throw Sergeant Bender under the bus with me, that even with our education and always being careful, I have clicked on things I know once I've clicked on them, I should not have clicked on them. And yes, I feel like a moron at the time, but it happens. You're busy, you're not reading it carefully, you're trying to multitask. I'm, doing too many things at the same time, and it's okay. We can come back from it. But if you know you've gotten into something that's making you uncomfortable, just got to let us know. If we've already done it and we've made these mistakes, we're certainly not going to fault you if you've done it and you've made these mistakes, right? And once you've realized it, it's embarrassing, fine. I've been embarrassed by it. Sergeant Bender's been embarrassed by it. But if we don't share, it can compound and it can get worse. So trust me when I tell you that I have made most of the big mistakes in the world online doing these things. And so just let us know right away, and we can try to start undoing whatever has gotten done. If it means making sure that you get your computer cleaned and we get the malware off of it, if it means that we make sure that there's no money lost, that we're not sending out gift cards to anybody. That's another thing that we talk about all the time, is that we're not ever sending gift cards. Nothing legitimate ever gets paid by gift card. That is another one of the biggest scams they have out there, and we really want to be aware of it. I'm going to make sure I get through. If you didn't get your stimulus check tax considerations, please just think about it. There's a 1040 and a 1040 SR that you can give to the person that helps do your taxes. Let them know that you didn't get your stimulus payment, because you shouldn't have to pay any taxes on it. Impersonating a government agency. Again, we're watching for people calling from the IRS or from Social Security. They don't need your personal information. They already have your personal information if they are legit. So don't start giving them any information. We don't share anything with anybody unless we know they are a trusted government entity. There's also, keep an eye out if a lot of people in retirement, this is my dad's one of these that loves to get online and swaps stocks in his spare time. Just be careful. There are a lot of these penny stock frauds out there. They're called pump and dumps. The con artists have already bought the stocks, and typically for $1 or less, they hope to hype up the stock and then it plummets. and they dump the stock, and the investors end up losing pretty big. This is the FTC. If you'd like to report identity theft, or you think you've been the victim of identity theft, that's another great one. Also, that you're gonna reach out to the Attorney General. You can reach out to the FTC. You can reach out to any of your support elder adult help people in Will County. I did not say that the right way, but you guys know what I mean. Um, and make sure that you do it. I just want to make sure that we're getting through all of these. There are a lot of new phishing scams. This is a good one for us to go over real quick. I know, am I running out of time, Leanne? I'm worried. I'm okay. So far, so good. Okay. So charity and phishing scams, again, they're asking you to help other people, which I love the idea of you wanting to help other people. I just want us to be real careful of what we're responding to. There are great local charities. There are great local food pantries that you guys can help with that are established. Anything that comes over the internet, I'm a little bit weary of. Like I said, there are some, if you just reach out to any of your trusted people like Sergeant Bender in Will County, they will give you a list of people that need help. And these places are easy to go to, easy to find, easy to donate to. But for example, in this one, you know, a UN official would not send official correspondence through Gmail. I want you guys to be your best Sherlock Holmes at this moment. Take a look and see what you think might be leery, weird, doesn't match up. We look for bad English, bad grammar, punctuation errors. You can be the best, you know, fifth grade teacher and go through and look for all the different spelling mistakes. A lot of these scams just will give you nothing but headaches. So again, if you want to give locally, and give to some a verifiable charity in your own area. Um, Again, let's not panic. I know I've told you 17 different ways that people are coming and wanting to invade your personal space and take advantage of you. But again, if you just stick to the kind of the basics, right? Ignore the vaccination home test kits, hang up on those robocalls, watch out for those phishing emails and text messages, research before you donate, and just stay informed. There are a lot of good government websites like the FTC, the FCC, so Federal Trade Commission, Federal Communications Commission, the Illinois Department of Public Health, the Illinois Attorney General's website. To shoot my own horn, I think it's a very good website as well for good information. I also want you all to be aware of these sweetheart or affinity scams. They're tricky because we are stuck at home and we do get lonely, and it's okay to say it. And you do want to make connections and you do want to reach out to people. And, you know, sometimes people end up online making connections. I just want us to be very careful getting online and making connections. Okay. Um, because I mean, online dating is a thing. I have to say, I was widowed 10 years ago, and all of a sudden, online dating is what you have to do. And it was scary and weird, and you have to be very self protective when you're making these connections. Um, I will also say that I met my now husband on a website. So it's not the worst thing ever, but it really is something you have to be very careful about because I found it really kind of it's got a lot going on. So again, new loves, new connections, we don't give them money. No cash, no check, no gift card, no wiring of money, no matter what might happen. Watch where that relationship heats up really quickly. It's hard to get to that I love you in the second, third time you email each other. Keep an eye on those US citizens who are supposedly living abroad, any of our military personnel living abroad. If the person makes excuses about not being able to speak, you know, on Zoom or on, you know, on Facebook, there's ways to talk, video chat. There are ways to make connections. There's always an excuse why that can't happen. Be concerned. Um, People make frequent spelling and grammar mistakes. That's another thing just to keep your eyes open for. Be careful what information you're sharing on social media. I mean, everyone likes to be on social media. I like to see pictures of everybody. My parents are on social media to see pictures of other people's grandkids. So just make sure you're not including any of that private information. Avoid publishing your location in real time. Make sure you don't have geolocations on. You can do like my mom does and just ask one of my kids when they're at the house to look through the phone. once you were able to start sharing a little bit more closely. Set your profile settings to private so that your friends can only view your posts. These are just important things to keep an eye on. Again, if you do meet someone and they turn out not to be the person you think they are and money has been exchanged, please let us know. Again, it's horribly embarrassing. And like I said, this online connecting it's new, it's strange, and being so isolated, everyone wants to make those connections. You are not going to be made to feel foolish if you have made these connections with the wrong person. That person is to blame, not you, but you need to let someone know. You need to call the police if they're emptying, if they have access to your bank account. You have to call the consumer helplines. You have to freeze your own bank accounts. Really want us to be aware of what you can do to make sure that once we've made that small mistake, it doesn't snowball into a bigger mistake. So just remember that we want to watch out for those fake profiles online the same way that we keep an eye on the fake emails that you might be getting. We are going to go last thing I want you to do. That unemployment insurance fraud is another big disaster that's out there right now. Illinois has stopped more than 350,000 fraudulent claims since March 1st. The Attorney General's office has received more than 1,400 complaints since June, when people have alleged that someone else has filed an unemployment insurance claim in their name. Please report it if you know, and this is advice you can give to other people. You can go online or you can call this number and you can report it. The more information IDES has, the better they will be equipped to make sure that there's no money lost. It's common if you have not filed benefits and you receive a letter stating that a claim has been filed in your name, report it. If you're an employer and you receive a letter that states the unemployment agency has an employee who has filed benefits, verify with that employee and then report it. Also, if you see that someone is trying to file a claim online or that they've actually been unemployed and they try to file their own claim and they're being told they can't. These letters will include like maybe debit cards as well. That'd be a good indicator that someone has filed. They recommend that the victims of unemployment fraud and these data breaches. So they're asking where they're all coming from. Most of them have been coming from some of those bigger data breaches. When Experian had that really big data breach, when there was information shared, they think that's where most of it's come from. We can place a freeze on the credit report, which prohibits the report from being shared with potential creditors. The credit freezes are free. Last but not least, this is me. I am Cordelia Coppelson. That is my email address and that is my cell phone number. You guys are welcome to send me an email. You can call and I will try and help. I am not a elder service provider, but if you have issues that you're not being able to figure out, I may be able to try and help you or at least get you to the right person. But again, your Will County people and your local providers are your best bet. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful. I am going to give it back over to Sergeant Bender at this time. I hope I didn't, I'm too much of a fast talker and I apologize
No, you did
for
so
that.
good.
So I'm going to stop my share right now.
Yeah, you did it. Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
you did great. Thank you so much. You did a really, really good job getting through so much information in that amount of time, but really good information. And a lot of the stuff you say are things that we talk about a lot in our meetings, but it's always good to have a reminder and to hear it from someone else. So I think that was great. I did have one question from your presentation. So you showed an economic impact debit card.
Yes.
And then also in the IDES scam, sometimes people are receiving these debit cards and you talked about how to, initiate one and to start it. So I just wanted to differentiate between the two so no one gets confused. If you receive one of those IDES scam cards, we're not activating that, we're reporting it. The economic impact debit card, Cordelia, can you just talk about who would maybe receive one of those?
If you are receiving the economic impact card, it's from the stimulus And it is different. It will not, all of those other ones should be coming directly from IDES. So
Okay.
if you're getting the stimulus card, it should have a letter in there that includes that this is what it is. And this is so that the concern was for people who don't have direct routing. So like if you get your social security like directly routed to your bank account, you will have they'll probably just directly deposit it. Like for example, my kids get social security benefits from their dad. They go directly to their account because they already have a routing. If there are people that need help that don't have any direct routing from the government, they are concerned that you guys that you need the money really quickly. That's where the card comes in. So
Gotcha.
that if you activate the card, they can immediately get the money onto the card, and you can have the money in hand without having to set up routing, bank, and all that other stuff. So
Right. So don't just throw it away. If you do get one of those,
no,
don't just
hold on to it,
and read it.
breathe, read
Mhm.
it. If you have additional questions, call,
Yep.
ask questions. You can call that the consumer hotline at the AG's office. They'll happily walk you through it as well to make you feel more comfortable about when you activate that card. And I
Okay.
think there are also other websites that can help you kind of guide yourself through it.
Okay, thank you. That's really good information because when I read those, I thought, oh no, because people are getting those other debit cards. I wanted them to understand the difference and why.
IDES,
Yep.
hold on and think it through, especially if you've never filed unemployment. That's
Right.
the number one.
Right. Okay, great. And then also, like Cordelia said throughout her whole presentation, if you guys have a question, whether someone comes to your door and we talk about not letting them in, or the email or the phone call, or even getting a card in the mail, you can always call me. You can call Deputy Jers. You can call Officer Boardman, or you can just call the police non-emergency line and say, can an officer come over and explain this to me, or I'm not sure if this is legitimate or not. And we are always really happy to do that. So that's another theme that Cordelia talked about that I want to reiterate, that if you're not sure, just call us. And it's never anything to be embarrassed about because it does happen to everyone. We have several officers here who received the IDS, were victims of that scam. So it just happens and we deal with it and we figure out how to move on, and that's it. It's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Oh.
Okay. Lastly, I just wanted to talk a little bit about just some business. We are going to have another recorded meeting in March. Some people have asked me, when can we go into in-person meetings? We'll have to talk about that and address it. I know a lot of our members have been vaccinated and might feel comfortable moving to an in-person platform, but definitely next month, so in April, we are going to be doing a virtual meeting. I have an idea for a topic, but I'll email you guys with the information. I hope it works out. Lastly, and sadly, I don't know if you received my email, but unfortunately, we lost a member of our TRIAD group. Dan Martiniak passed away on March 12th. He is survived, of course, by his wife, Sharon, who we all know. They both have been original members of TRIAD. Dan was really, really active in his Gateway HOA and was the president. He was a United States Army veteran and just served this group and others so well. So we just really want to express our condolences to Sharon. I don't know, at this time, Sharon, of course, if you need anything, of course, reach out to any of us. And we are so sorry for your loss. On that note, I am going to end the meeting. If anyone does have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out. Cordelia, I want to thank you so much for your time, for the presentation. It was really good. Honestly, tons of really great information. You provided some resources I'm going to put on our social media to educate people as well. So thank you for the information and for doing this.
Well, when you guys are back in person, invite me. I'm a big fan of TRIAD. I work on TRIAD and I love seeing TRIAD at work. So
Okay, great.
I'll be happy to come out and do any other talk that you want.
We will do that. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. We will see you next month. Thank you.